Welcome to the Crimes That Happen channel. And before we begin, I need us to take a breath together. Because Ashlee Jenae was not just a case. She was Ashlee Robinson, born in Philadelphia, raised in South Jersey, a woman who moved to Miami and built something real, a community of women who believed in themselves a little more every time she posted. She deserves to be remembered as that woman first. So let us pray. Lord, we come to you tonight with heavy hearts. We lift Ashlee's mother, Yolanda, who found out her daughter was gone not from the man who proposed to her, but from a hotel. We lift her father, Harry, who got on a plane to Washington, D.C. with nothing but a father's love and a demand for truth. We lift her sister, Alyssa, who said all her sister could bring was life to everyone around her. Give this family strength, Lord. Give them answers. Give them justice. And Father, we cover every person watching right now, in the US, in Canada, in the UK, in Australia, wherever you are in this world tonight. Protect them. Keep them safe from harm, from manipulation, from people who are not what they present themselves to be. Because this story is a reminder that the most dangerous lies are the ones wrapped in love. Amen. Now let us get into it. Because the truth about what happened to Ashlee Jenae is just beginning to surface. Before the headlines, before the hashtags, before the world learned her name through tragedy, there is a woman you need to know. Ashlee Jenae is the kind of woman who makes you believe in yourself just by watching her live. Born Ashlee Robinson on April 5th, 1995 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she grows up in South Jersey, attends Kingsway Regional High School, and somewhere along the way, she decides that her life is going to look exactly like she wants it to look, not what anyone else. In 2024, during the period he was in a relationship with Ashlee Robinson, Joe McCann made a social media post that referenced having a wife and 2 young children. Records show that McCann had previously been married to Shea Jackson from 2018 until their separation in 2021. Following their divorce, Fortune reported that a portion of McCann's ownership in Asymmetric Financial, the cryptocurrency hedge fund he established, was transferred to Jackson as part of the settlement. Additionally, based on his own social media activity, McCann is known to have at least 1 daughter. Alana began a relationship with Joe McCann in November 2024. There was a noticeable age gap. She was 15 years younger, but the relationship quickly became serious. She traveled with him, attended high-profile events, and became part of his public life. During a safari trip, surrounded by wildlife and a staged romantic setting, he proposed, and she accepted. That relationship would later become central to a tragedy. On April 9th, 2026, Ashlee passed away under circumstances that remain deeply concerning. Reports referenced a visible mark on her neck, and initial hospital documentation listed strangulation and suffocation as the cause of death. However, a full autopsy report has still not been released to her family. According to the family, McCann contacted her parents approximately 11 hours later, telling them she was stable. Since that call, they say there has been no further communication from him. This week, Ashlee's body was returned to the United States. Her father, Harry Robinson, shared the update publicly, writing, "Our baby is back home in the States." The return was also confirmed by her close friend, Savannah Bread. Support for the family has continued to grow, with a GoFundMe campaign raising over $63,000. Meanwhile, Joe Budden revealed that he had met Ashlee personally, noting that she had attended his birthday gathering alongside McCann.
Stand none of the romantic choices. But if that's your homegirl and you love her and they vouch for that person, Ashlee and homeboy was at my birthday dinner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were at my birthday dinner. And I invited Ashlee the last 2 years to my birthday dinner. So this year I made it a point to get on the phone. Like, yo, this is the year. What's up? You gonna make it? And she was on some shit like, yeah, you know, just kind of check with my man, and I know we got to drop off the step kids, and we got to pick them up from school, and they on spring break, and this, and I'm on the phone like, girl, for real? Like, yo, like, you playing stepmommy over there? I'm just saying, like, she wrecked the dude. Like, a lot of people have an agenda on the internet. And I know what it looks like with this white guy and this young black girl. She loved this dude. And by all accounts, he appeared.
As of now, McCann remains in Tanzania. Here's a reconstructed version with the same meaning, stronger flow, and original wording.
His passport remains at the custody of authorities, and as of now, there has been no public statement. Stay with me, because in this video, we're breaking down every major development from the past week. We're also taking a closer look at who Joe McCann was before Ashlee Robinson entered his life, his previous marriage, the divorce settlement, the resurfaced 2024 post, the crypto business fallout, and how all of it connects to the questions her family is still asking today. If you're following this case, subscribe now. This channel will continue tracking every update as it unfolds. 17 days after Ashlee Robinson passed away in a hospital in Zanzibar, here is the clearest picture of where things stand right now. The most significant development this week is that her body has been returned to the United States. The confirmation came from her close friend and spokesperson, Savannah Britt, the same person who first brought widespread attention to this case online. In an email exchange with Hello Beautiful, she shared a short but carefully worded statement. Because the investigation is ongoing, her parents and I are not taking interviews at this time. The body is home. The interviews are paused. The investigation is active. That statement carries weight. It indicates that authorities in Tanzania have advanced far enough in their forensic process to release Ashlee's remains for repatriation, something that typically only happens once key procedural steps have been completed. But while her return brings her home, it does not bring closure. The investigation is still active, and the questions remain unanswered. It means the United States Embassy, which dispatched its own coroner to assist with the autopsy, has completed whatever role it played in the forensic examination process. And it means Harry Robinson and Yolanda Indris can begin the process of laying their daughter to rest. But it does not mean the answers have arrived with her. The autopsy results have still not been publicly released. The family has still not received the full forensic findings. The investigation remains officially open and ongoing. The GoFundMe campaign, launched to support travel costs, funeral arrangements, and ongoing investigation expenses, has now raised over $63,000. The original goal was $50,000. The excess reflects a community of strangers who understood what this family was fighting and chose to be part of that fight financially. Joe McCann remains in Tanzania. His passport is still confiscated by Zanzibar authorities. He is still being questioned as a witness in the active investigation. No charges have been filed. No attorney has been publicly identified on his behalf. He has now been silent for 17 days. Multiple major news outlets, Fortune magazine, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, Newsweek, and others have confirmed they reached out to McCann for comment. None received a response. One thing he has done this week is change his profile picture on social media. His friend and spokesperson, Savannah Britt, noted the change publicly, calling it, in her words, a PR move to seem like a decent man. Still in his X bio, penned for 100,000 followers to read, is a quote attributed to Iceberg Slim, historically one of the most notorious pimps in American criminal history. Only a fool trips on what's behind them. Drop a comment right now. Say Ashlee's name. I read every single one. Let's look closely at what that 2024 social media post actually reveals and why it matters. During 2024, at the same time Joe McCann was publicly involved with Ashlee Robinson, attending crypto events with her, traveling together, and appearing across her social media, he shared a post that referred to having a wife and 2 very young children. That detail is important because it introduces a clear inconsistency in the timeline. Ashlee Robinson's relationship with McCann began in November 2024.
Yet his own public statements from that same period suggest a different personal situation. Their relationship became visible through her social media, photos of the two of them at events, at dinners, and moving through what looked like a shared life together. But that same year, in 2024, Joe McCann was also making posts that referenced a wife and young children.
That contrast makes the timeline worth examining more closely. So let's focus on what is publicly confirmed about his family history. McCann was previously married to Shea Jackson from 2018 until their divorce in 2021. Their wedding took place at the greenhouse at Driftwood in Texas. They divorced in 2021. Fortune magazine, in its detailed April 2026 profile of McCann, confirmed that some of McCann's stake in Asymmetric Financial was transferred to Shea Jackson as part of the divorce settlement. Two founders who had taken venture investments from Asymmetric confirmed this to Fortune directly. McCann has a daughter. This is documented in his own social media posts. He has referenced her publicly on X. The specifics of the 2024 post referencing a wife and two very young children, and what precisely that means about his personal life at the time he was beginning his relationship with Ashlee Robinson, are part of the background that the public is now examining as this investigation continues. Shea Jackson has not commented on Ashlee Robinson's passing. There is no evidence connecting Jackson to the events in Tanzania. She has maintained a low public profile throughout. But the picture of Joe McCann that emerges from these details, a previous marriage, a divorce settlement that transferred financial assets, at least one child, and a 2024 post referencing domestic life while publicly beginning a relationship with a woman 15 years his junior, is a more complicated picture than the one he projected publicly. Ashlee Robinson started dating him in November 2024. She attended his events, she appeared in his world. She said yes on April 3rd, 2026 during a safari. 6 days later, she was gone. If this video is reaching you, share it right now. For Ashlee, share it. Because the investigation requires understanding both who Ashlee was and who the man she was with, and because new details have emerged this week that significantly expand the public picture of Joe McCann, this part establishes the full documented profile. Joseph Isaac McCann, born 1980, Portland, Oregon roots, attended Portland State University, where he studied philosophy with a particular interest in Nietzsche and Schopenhauer, according to a 2024 podcast interview. He described himself in that interview as having spent time as a DJ, throwing raves, running record labels with his brother, and working as CTO at one of the top advertising agencies in New York City, all before entering the world of crypto investment. He positioned himself as someone who understood both the creative and financial sides of the world. That positioning, the idea of a finance professional with cultural credibility, was central to how he built Asymmetric Financial's brand. Asymmetric Financial was McCann's central professional identity. He founded it as a crypto-focused hedge fund with both a liquid trading arm and a venture investment arm. He attracted significant institutional backing, including investors connected to Andreessen Horowitz. He had advisory roles in multiple crypto-adjacent companies, including Stardust, Voltage, and Dharma Labs, the latter of which was acquired by OpenSea. In 2024, at the peak of his fund's performance, the liquid book swelled from approximately $195 million to $395 million. McCann was publicly boasting of enormous returns on a meme coin called Bonk. He was photographed with rapper Iggy Azalea and publicly supported her crypto project. He ran a merch line. He was visible, prominent, and celebrating. By late 2025, the fund had collapsed. Unconfirmed social media reports suggested the liquid fund was down nearly 80%. McCann announced he was shutting down the Liquid Alpha Fund. His estimated net worth, despite those losses, has been reported at approximately $45 million. His X profile describes him as a former techno DJ who has been working in tech for nearly 2 decades. His bio includes citations for hedge fund performance awards and references to his philosophy background. And pinned to that profile for 100,000 followers is the Iceberg Slim quote, "Only a fool trips on what's behind them."
Ashlee Robinson was 15 years younger than Joe McCann. She entered his world in November 2024, embracing the life he projected, appearing in his events, building what looked from the outside like a partnership between a rising influencer and an established figure in the crypto world. She was 30 years old when they met. He was 44. She was 31 when she said yes on the safari. She did not make it to 32. This is a detail that deserves its own examination, because it tells us something specific about the world Ashlee Robinson had entered with Joe McCann. Rapper and podcaster Joe Bud, one of the most prominent voices in hip-hop commentary, with millions of listeners, revealed this week that he knew Ashlee Robinson personally, and mentioned how sweet she was, and so in love with her fiancé.
This places McCann and Robinson together in a social environment that connects two very different worlds: the crypto investment space that McCann operated in and the entertainment and hip-hop world that Robinson's lifestyle influencer brand intersected with. Joe Budden's birthday party is not a casual gathering. It is an event with a specific guest list in a specific social universe. Ashlee Robinson was there. Joe McCann was there. Joe Budden knew her. This detail, small as it may seem in isolation, is part of the broader picture of who Ashlee Robinson was and the world she had built. She was not peripheral to the life she was living with McCann. She was present in it, known in it, connected to it. She was 31 years old and building something. And the people who knew her, from Savannah Britt, who raised the alarm, to Cardi B, who posted 4 words that set the internet on fire, to Joe Budden, who confirmed he knew her personally, are part of a community that has refused to let her name disappear into an unresolved case file on another continent. This is the right moment to properly account for what Savannah Britt has done in this case, because her role is not incidental, it is foundational. Savannah Britt is a PR executive. She was Ashlee Robinson's close friend. When Ashlee passed on April 9th, 2026, and the world did not immediately respond, when the State Department offered condolences and declined further comment, when Tanzanian authorities issued a preliminary ruling and fell silent, when Joe McCann said nothing, Savannah Britt went on X. She posted what no official body was saying. I find it very alarming that an American woman died abroad days ago, and prior to my initial tweet, nothing had been said from our State Department, Tanzanian government, or local media. And then, we need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiancé Joe McCann claims she hung herself. Anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit. We need answers now. Those 2 posts from a private citizen who loved her friend are what turned this case from a regional story into a national conversation. The 4 words Savannah Britt posted, there was nothing. After, there was everything. Cardi B saw it, posted 4 words. The internet caught fire. The State Department was pressured to respond. The embassy dispatched a coroner. Harry Robinson flew to Washington, D.C., and pushed until officials made contact with Tanzania. The autopsy was completed. The body came home. We finally have some good news in the Ashlee Jenae case. Ashlee's father, Harry Robinson, tweeted out this picture and caption: "Our baby is back home in the States." None of that happens without Savannah Britt's initial posts. And now, with the investigation ongoing and the interviews paused, Britt is still doing the work, confirming the body's return, managing the family's communications, calling out a profile picture change as a PR move. She is doing for her friend in death what she would have done for her in life. That is what loyalty looks like. The body is home, but the autopsy results are not released. This needs to be understood clearly because these are 2 separate things, and the distinction matters enormously for the family and for the investigation. The repatriation of Ashlee Robinson's remains to the United States means the Tanzanian authorities have determined that her body can be released. It does not mean the investigation is closed. It does not mean the autopsy findings have been officially communicated to anyone outside the investigation.
it does not mean that the medical questions at the center of this case have been answered. The hospital medical report, reviewed by ABC News, 6ABC Philadelphia, and Newsweek, listed Ashlee Robinson's cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation. It noted an unidentified mark around her neck. It stated that her fiancé found she had hung herself on the door. The full forensic autopsy, assisted by a United States Embassy coroner, is complete. Its findings have not been publicly released. The family has not received them. Those findings, when they come, will be the single most important piece of evidence in determining whether this investigation moves toward a formal conclusion, toward charges, or toward something else entirely. The fact that Ashlee's body is now in the United States means the family can pursue independent forensic examination if they choose to. American forensic pathologists, operating under U.S. law and with access to the full medical history now available, can conduct their own analysis.
Whether the family pursues this path is not publicly known, but the option now exists because she is home. And that, 17 days after she passed in a hospital room in Tanzania, is the result of a family that refused to accept distance as an excuse for silence. Share this video right now, because this family fought to bring her home, and they are still fighting for the truth. Share it. This is a small detail, but in a case defined by silence from one man, small details carry weight. Joe McCann changed his social media profile picture this week. His previous profile picture, which Savannah Britt described publicly, was what she called creepy, a close-up of his face partially covered by a piece of cloth. An image that, in the context of the conversation happening around this case, had been noted by many of the people following it. He changed it to something less confrontational, less unusual, more, in the language of public relations, presentable. Savannah Britt saw it and named it for what she believed it was, a PR move to seem like a decent man, incapable of being involved in his fiancé's death. At approximately the same time, Oman observers noted that McCann's ex-wife, Shea Jackson, also changed her Instagram profile picture. Two people connected to the same man, making the same kind of social media adjustment at the same time. The observation has been noted publicly. What it means, if anything, is not confirmed. What is confirmed is that McCann remained active on X until April 8th, 2026, the day Ashlee Robinson was found unresponsive. After that, silence. No posts, no statements, no responses, just a profile picture change and a pinned quote from Iceberg Slim. This case, like every case this channel covers, does not exist in isolation. It exists within a pattern, and that pattern deserves to be named. Black American women who pass overseas under disputed circumstances face a specific and documented set of barriers when their families try to get answers. The barriers are jurisdictional. American families have limited legal standing in foreign investigations. They are diplomatic. The State Department's role is constrained by the sovereignty of the host country and by privacy considerations that can feel like bureaucratic silence to a grieving parent. They are media-related. Cases involving Black women receive less national coverage and less sustained attention than comparable cases involving women from other demographics. This is not speculation. This is documented by researchers at multiple institutions who have tracked missing persons and suspicious death coverage over time. Ashlee Robinson's case broke through some of these barriers because of Savannah Britt's social media posts, because of Cardi B's 4 words, because Harry Robinson drove to Washington, D.C. and refused to accept silence, because 100,000 followers refused to look away. But the autopsy results are still not public. The surveillance footage demand has not been answered. McCann has still said nothing. And the investigation in a foreign jurisdiction continues at the pace of that jurisdiction, not at the pace of a grieving family in Delaware that simply wants to know the truth. That gap between what this family deserves and what the system has delivered so far is the accountability conversation that Ashlee Robinson's case demands. It demanded it when she was classified as an American who passed abroad,
and received a preliminary ruling within days that her family immediately disputed. It demands it now, 17 days later, with her body home and the answer still somewhere in Tanzania. Her name was Ashlee Robinson, Ashlee Jenae to the world she built online. 31 years old, South Jersey, Portland, Miami, Philadelphia born. A self-described soft life divestor who showed over 100,000 people what it looked like to choose yourself and refuse to settle. She attended Joe Budden's birthday party. She appeared in Drake's music video. She said yes during a safari in Tanzania with rose petals and a lion in the frame. She posted on her birthday, Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be. She is home now. Her body crossed an ocean and came back to the country where her parents are and her sister is, and the people who loved her are waiting there.
But the answers did not come home with her. The autopsy results are still not public. The investigation is still open. Joe McCann is still in Tanzania with his passport confiscated, having said nothing for 17 days. And the family, Harry Robinson and Yolanda Indris and Alyssa Indris and Savannah Britt, are still fighting. Not for noise, for the truth. She was loved. She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about. She will not be. This channel will cover every development as it comes. When the autopsy results are released, we will be here. As this investigation develops, we'll continue to follow every update. For Ashlee Robinson, say her name in the comments. She was where she was meant to be, and she deserved to come home with answers. If you want to stay informed on this case, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it so more people are aware. The family has made one request: keep her story in the public eye. And if you or someone you know is going through a difficult time, support is available. Call or text 988. I'll see you in the next video.